My next guest is Julie Lacouture. She's Deputy Director of the Southwest Region for DonorsChoose.org, which I heard about only a couple of weeks ago. I think it's a wonderfully innovative way to help teachers, students, schools, and people who want to help teachers, students, and schools.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, before you tell me about what DonorsChoose.org is, tell me how you got involved in it.
Sure. I am a career nonprofit person, I guess. So I've worked in the nonprofit sector for about 10 years, and they brought me on board when they started doing their national expansion.
Where did they start?
In New York City in the year 2000. It was started by a school teacher who was working in the Bronx and noticed that there is a severe lack of materials in his classroom.
And what was his solution?
Well, he started this website called DonorsChoose.org where teachers can post projects, like wish lists almost, for things they need in their classroom, from books and supplies to art supplies to technology needs. And then donors visit the website and make contributions to these projects via credit card and until they are funded. So sometimes projects take 10 people to get funded. Sometimes it's just one person. But once they're funded, we buy the materials and send them right to the teacher.
So what I can see with that, a few wonderful things. One, it's something that would have been very, very difficult to have done 15 years ago. But what this teacher saw was that now the web was a way to do it. It reminds me, by the way, of Kiva, which is an international way that you can fund needs all over the world. And again, it's a matching thing where Kiva.org, I believe it is, you go onto that site, you can see someone who needs something in a village in the Sudan, and you can be matched with them so you know who you funded and where the good went. The other thing I hear in what you said is that, in other words, if I can only give 25, but I want to contribute to a computer system that might cost $10,000, I can do that. On the other hand, it also sounds like if, heaven forbid, that one never got fulfilled, my money would come back to me?
Yes, absolutely. It's basically crowdsourcing. So the power of a group to make a difference in one classroom. We let the project stay on our website for about 8 months, and if they don't get funded in that time, the money gets put back into a donor's account so they can pick a new project to fund, or on checkout you can have us reallocate it.
And so it sounds like this is taking into account a number of the phenomenon of what's new in the world. One, the web allows you to mix and match very easily. Two, this crowdsourcing. And three, this thing about, am I correct that, in other words, I now know which teacher of which fifth grade class in which elementary school in which part of town I'm funding?
Yeah, absolutely. There is technologically advanced as the site is, we also have a big manual offline process, which is that once you fund something, if you're that person that gives over $100 or you finish off the project, you get a thank you email from the teacher directly. And then a couple of months later, you get thank you notes in your mailbox from the kids in the classroom. So what we're seeing is, it's not so anonymous on the web anymore, and people are really going and seeking a connection, and we give them that connection to the classroom. So they know where their money is used, and they know that it made a difference.
They even hear from the children that it's helped.
They even hear from the kids, yeah.
And so then, let's say I have a good experience, I like this, I perhaps now have a relationship with either that teacher or those students, and I can give to that teacher's next request, or I can give to this student when that class goes to 6th grade. I can seek them out and continue to contribute to their education? We
will send you an email the next time that teacher has a proposal up there if you make a connection with the class, yeah.
Great. Now, I actually saw a report on the national news last night. I don't know if you know the one I'm talking about. This was on NBC, and they said, when times are tough, as they are now in California and in many states, and education is scraping for funds, this is one of those moments when the difference between the more well-off neighborhoods and their schools and the less well-off gets exaggerated. That when the schools feel pain, and schools in Brentwood, in Pasadena, in Santa Monica, in the more well-off areas reach out to the parents of their public. These are kids who are going to public school. They may have a better chance of getting the funds to fill the shortfall than schools in more poorer areas. And DonorsChoose.org seems to me a way that sort of can even the playing field.
Yeah, absolutely. We are set up to address that inequity and close that gap.
And can you give me a couple of examples of things that have happened? How long have you been in Los Angeles?
We have had our Los Angeles office since 2005.
Okay, so what are some of the examples of things that have actually happened in LA?
Yeah, absolutely. We had a great teacher in the Compton Unified School District who was an English teacher, or is an English teacher, and he wanted to get his class out of the rows and get them to work together on their writing projects, because that's really important to keep kids engaged. Because if you're in the back row, sometimes you can not be fully paying attention in class. And all he wanted were 6 tables for his classroom. And he approached the administration, and the administration said, we don't have the money for 6 tables. You have desks. That's
right.
That's fine.
You've got the minimum everyone has.
Yeah. So he pulled tables out of the dumpster at the school, and they taped them together with duct tape, and then they got some screws in some of the legs. But as you know, middle schoolers will lean on desks, and so once a week these desks were collapsing. So he put a proposal on our website for 6 tables, and within a couple of months, they were funded by probably 7 different donors from as far away as Florida and Maine, and it was just a bunch of people chipping in on these tables, and they have their tables now. So really happy about that one.
Okay, so that's a school down in Compton, and as I said, these are the schools that might have a tougher time reaching out to their PTA and so on, because times are tight for the families as well as for the schools. Anything, exciting new innovations that have happened recently or are happening in the future?
Well, right now we have about 1,000 projects on our site from just Southern California.
Great.
And they're ranging from things from encyclopedias for second graders to LCD projectors to a library of Judy Blume books for 4th graders, which I'm a big fan of.
Right, so there's something where if that meant something to you when you read them, you can actually give those to other kids.
Absolutely. But what we're seeing a lot with the teachers is they're really starting to bring technology into the classroom, using literature to teach math, using LCD projectors to teach about science, and really get kids engaged in using technology in the classroom, a lot more music in the classroom, and a lot more art supplies.
Okay. So that was Julie Lacouture, and we're speaking about DonorsChoose.org. Check out that website. You can contribute to a specific teacher's request, and contribute to a specific classroom, a specific group of kids, and help make up the shortfall that's happening right now. Thank you, Julie. It sounds like a wonderful innovation.